G'day ladies and gents, Cubic Meter here. Welcome to the Villager Trading Hall of the future, where our villagers are stored in a super compact matrix structure, which makes use of some redstone machinery to allow all sorts of cool features. About a year ago, we actually went and built one of these Villager Matrix Trading Halls on the WaveTech server. However, this is a much older design that had a few problems that we discovered along the way. The basic idea of the Villager Trading Matrix is that it makes use of this extremely compact module where you can input villagers like so, then the villager will get stored inside the module and it will automatically redirect that module so that subsequent villagers will head on to modules further down the track. You can then hit this note block to automatically extract the villager from the storage cell and have it sent via rail to wherever you want. So the Villager Trading Matrix is a compact and dynamic solution to villager storage. However, there was a massive issue with this wiring scheme. Primarily, if I go ahead and hit this note block while there is no villager inside the cell, the wiring just went and break the adjacent module in front of it. This can lead to all sorts of messy problems when trying to use this machine in survival. Another issue with this old wiring scheme is that it was highly directional. So if I go ahead and take a schematic of this cell and then rotate it or mirror it like so, paste it in. Now if I update this curve rail, it is curving in the opposite direction, and if I try to input villagers from this side, they will completely ignore this cell even though it is in the state which says that it's available. In order to address all of these problems, I went and made a brand new wiring scheme for the Villager Matrix module. With this new design, if a rail is pointed in the wrong direction in the open state, all we need to do is go down to here, switch this redstone torch over to this block, and we reverse the direction that the rail sits in the default open state. So now we can input villagers from any direction. Another advantage is that instead of instantly breaking if you trigger it while the module is empty, instead this module will simply do nothing. So the new wiring scheme is more compact. It is also easy to see faults, as you can look into this space and see when things are not in the correct states, and it's more robust to user error. So what features do you get with this trading hall? Well, probably the most apparent features so far is this amazing decoration which I took from the WaveTech server, which was done by none other than Mr. Max Mondays. In fact, he recently took on a project to transform this Villager Matrix into a Hogwarts themed trading hall, and streams decorative building content on a regular basis. So be sure to subscribe to his channel to be notified when he finally publishes this design. However, I'm a redstone man, so let's check out all the features that get offered by the redstone integrated into this machine. To start trading, we can head up to the back of the trading hall, where we have these shulker display giving us emeralds as well as books for trading and some wood for various crafting. In order to stock up these displays, we simply just put shulker boxes into these chests underneath. Let's get some emeralds and some books and start trading ourselves some enchants. The basic functionality of a trading hall is simple. You use it for trading. However, sometimes these trades can be pretty expensive. Fortunately, with the Villager Trading Matrix, I have the option to dispatch this villager to this center console where I can then decide what to do with it. There we go. There's our librarian. I can now automatically send this guy into a zombification chamber. It will automatically give me a golden apple as the villager drops down and gets redirected into this chamber, which reliably converts them into a zombie, hits them with a weakness effect, and then shoots them up into the display. Then we can go ahead and start the curing process. Send our zombified villager back to its display in order to stew away until it's fully cured. There we go. There's our zombified villager. And try not to get too close as he's a bit jabby at the moment. In case you're wondering, if you're looking for where we restock the supplies of golden apples and arrows, first we can look into this trapdoor where we keep all the golden apples. Then over here there is another trapdoor that leads down to the dispenser that shoots weakness arrows at our zombie. Oh, there we go. Our village is now cured. So now we can reap the rewards of cheaper trades. Another cool feature which I noticed was added to the Wavetech server was this simple little semi-automatic sorting system for all the various enchants. So we can select efficiency, like so, hit the button, and then it will deliver a shulker box of efficiency books to us. There we go. And we can also put them into the system. The only requirement is that in order to accurately sort items, you actually need to have that specific enchant selected in the lectern. Now having a fully stocked up trading hall like this is pretty nice and all, but what happens if your villager trading hall looks like this? Well, don't have a fret, because I've gone ahead and included a fully automatic villager breeder. What we have here is what I like to call the bedchamber. In these corners we have stockpiles of bread, which automatically get fed to the villagers every time they make a successful breeding attempt. So what we do is make a baby like so, and then the baby drops down into this system, which detects the baby and dispenses more bread to our villagers. While the baby is stored over here in this cell until they grow up, when they will suddenly become tall enough to reach into this water column, which causes them to rise up and then get transported over to this section. Picks up the villager, brings it all the way over here where we keep all of our fully grown villagers in a simple villager storage. And what this villager storage does is it counts each adult villager which enters the cell, and it will stop the breeder automatically when it gets to 8 villagers. Now using carpet mod by Nembon, I can use the command /script load AI tracker and then /AI tracker villager breeding in order to show a little GUI about the current breeding status of our villagers. Now villagers have a 5-minute cooldown timer, allowing them to produce a baby villager roughly every 5 minutes. However, once they make a baby villager, they take about 20 minutes to grow into an adult. So that means in the time it takes a single one of these baby villagers to grow up, we can have 4 new baby villagers entering the chamber. So that means that once we have 8 villagers stored in this cell right here, and then stop the breeder from working, we'll have an additional 4 villagers caged up in the baby villager cell. This means that while the system's idle, we can have up to 12 villagers waiting in this cell ready to be input automatically into the trading matrix. In order to do this, I have these chests at the back which store all the minecarts. And then we have 2 options. We can either send the villagers one at a time using this button. So that'll just pick up a villager and then send it automatically into the villager matrix. There we go, our villager has just popped up through the first available cell. And then during work hours, we can assign the role of our villager using a workstation placed in the floor just underneath the cell like so. You could technically place workstations on this side as well. However, that's not advisable mainly because some workstations are full blocks and right underneath we have the rail here, meaning our villagers will get punched in the face by this workstation. So I'll suggest keeping the workstations out of the way on this side of the cell. Something which is also a bit finicky is the specific alignment of the villagers. Now, I've got fresh animations installed, which actually makes the villagers sit down when in a minecart, so visibly they look a lot shorter than they would be in vanilla. With fresh animations disabled, you can see that the villager is actually standing a lot taller. If I go ahead and break this trapdoor, and then lower down the villager by disabling the water column, I can realign the villager like this, or I could probably even use a slab like so. Oh, that's not good. I might have accidentally broken the state of the module by triggering it at the wrong time, where the villager had just gone past the soul sand when I went to try and raise it back up again. However, this shouldn't be a concern, because if I send the villager back to the cell should hopefully fully reset itself once the villager arrives. Here we go. Yep, there we go. The module just fully reset itself even though it was broken. With this alignment of the villager, you can see they are a lot more responsive to the change in their workstation. However, if we go back to using fresh animations, like so, you can see why I wanted to raise them up a bit. So the way you align your villagers is entirely up to you. So going back to our adult villager storage, the other option we can use is automated matrix stocking. Now this will run the stocking system continuously as the breeder runs until the entire matrix is full. Because our matrix has a lot of logic telling us where our villagers should go depending on which modules are full, we can wire this logic all the way into our villager storage in order to tell it when to stop sending villagers. If I tick warp the stocking system running, you can see the pattern that we fill the matrix. So we start with the right side of the matrix and we fill it up from the outside in, from the front all the way to the back. Alright, so now that the right hand side is full, we've started filling up the left hand side. Keeping in mind the priority of various cells, we can actually organize our villager trading hall by swapping our villagers around. If I want to swap any two villagers, I have to first locate the villager that has a higher cell priority. So for example, if I wanted to swap this villager and this villager, I would first send this one to the center console, and once they've arrived there, I can start sending this guy, and because the center is occupied, this villager will bypass it. So if we watch quickly, inside the rail system, a villager comes into the center, goes on this rail, bypasses it, and heads all the way over to the first available cell, which is now this one that we freed up by sending this guy to the center. And now you can send this guy over to this cell. There he goes. And just like that, we've swapped the position of two villagers. If, however, you are in need of certain services, in the alignment configuration where you have a flat surface, you can simply light it on fire and your villager will silently sleep with the fishes. The empty minecart is not a problem. Simply hit the note block and send the empty minecart into the system, where it will be confronted by this automatic filter, which will dispose of the minecart and store any spare minecarts in this chest. In the configuration where the villager is higher up, you can't actually use the flint and steel to light this surface on fire. However, what you can do is place a powder snow bucket above the villager's head, and they will eventually start taking damage, and well, you know what happens next. So all of that is pretty cool. However, to see the most powerful feature that you can have in your villager trading hall, we're going to have to head over to the end dimension. This right here is a simple little system attached to an end gateway which enables what I like to call void trading. Now I've covered this mechanic in the past, so be sure to check out that video to learn more. All we need to do is head through here, go into the end gateway, and what we'll find is an entire villager trading matrix in the end dimension. However, the difference with this design is that we now have an end gateway smack bang in the middle of the villager trading matrix. With some emeralds on hand, I can select any villager, send it over to the center console. There we go, and now our villager appears right in the center here. I can then get in position, and if you're wondering what this lava is for, it will make sense very shortly. So I get into position right here, close this trapdoor. Now, I can open the GUI of the villager, and this water will push me through the end gateway. And now, on the other side of the end gateway, if I make the trade, I can trade lock the villager. However, if I go ahead and hit this chest, it'll send me back through automatically. I can reselect the villager, and look at that, the trade is no longer locked. This allows me to trade infinitely with a single villager for as long as I'm able to reliably load the other side and not trade lock the villager. So using this mechanic, you can get a lot more trades out of a single villager, and thus you wouldn't need as many villagers to sustain the same amount of trades. Now, the purpose of this lava is that ever since 1.17, the villagers actually drop XP every time you trade with them, even though they're not being loaded in. So if I go ahead and perform the trade, like so, you'll notice that the villager is actually dropping XP, and the problem is, if this XP gets into the space where the player is sitting, the XP orbs can go through the end gateway and put the end gateway into cooldown. So after removing all of the lava, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the problem with allowing the XP to come out of the trades. So I just select the villager like so. And now I'm going to trade a bunch of items, like bowls of enchanting, ender pearls, lapis, and redstone. If I go back through to the end side, you see all of these XP orbs drop, and they can gum up the end gateway and cause it to go into cooldown and prevent the player from going through reliably. And just then, I think, yeah, I just accidentally trade locked this villager because I didn't go through the end gateway fast enough. So the main purpose of the lava is to simply burn the XP and make the void trading more reliable. So there we have it. The new and improved Villager Matrix Trading Hall. I'll be leaving a couple of schematics down in the description, which includes both the overworld design, the end design, along with other peripherals like the automated villager breeder, along with the basic cell which has been pre-prepared to be tiled using a schematic like so. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.